Right at the start, she didn't quite understand what the new job meant that she would have to be involved in. But suddenly, very much like the late Princess of Wales, suddenly realised that there are certain causes that I can get my teeth into and I can do a lot of good by supporting them.
Well, I've been there at speeches the last couple of years, and she holds reception at Buckingham Palace. And I remember one she did where she talked about there'd been Sarah Everard's death, and she was talking about men need to come on board and really need to change their attitudes. And another time she was talking about an epidemic of violence against women, she called it. She came out with some really strong statistics. And I just think, bring it back to the Duchess of Sussex every time, but she said that she, struggled to be vocal in the royal family. Queen Camilla has shown that you can be vocal, be a woman and be in the royal family.
Sophie has been similarly very... Were you going to say the same thing?
Well, Sophie,
Sophie's been very vocal on that same issue as well.
Right. So they've got voices.
Yeah, they've got voices.
And we keep hearing them, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Right, just briefly, I don't know about you guys today, but I came into the office, or I came into our studio, and it was a bit of a kind of back-to-school vibe, I think. The tubes were busy, it was raining, it was packed, everyone seems to be returning after their summer holidays, and I'm just imagining across the royal households, they're kind of ironing the school uniforms, they've packed the pencil cases for George and Louis. It's the start of a new term.
Yeah.
It's the start of a new term. So just casting our minds forward, ignoring Harry's return next week, what are you looking forward to? We've already got Queen Camilla's been in Cornwall, the King's of Birmingham, Prince and Princess of Wales will be returning to, I think, the first engagement this week. They're at the Natural History Museum. We've got a couple of months to look forward to. What are you looking forward to?
I think there should be an overseas trip sometime in October for the King and Queen.
We don't know where it is yet.
And we don't know where it is yet. We've got William's Earthshot Prize. I think that's in Brazil, is it?
Yep, in Rio in November.
Brazil's a great country. If you get a chance, get there. I think that the bandwagon will just keep on rolling as we have seen it rolling. I think there might be even more work for Sophie and Edward to do as well, because there's not many of them left.
They're off to Japan in September. Sophie. What are you really looking forward to?
I think the state visit's got to be a really big moment. State visit in September, I think it's going to be really interesting. Lots to talk about, lots of visual, always with a state visit.
Lots of protests.
I think it's just going to... Well, I mean, what public elements will there be? The security question is very different with the US president and always has been. So I think that's going to be a big moment, and we're going to see the royal family en masse in that moment, we would expect anyway. It feels now like we're, in this back-to-school rhythm, September. I feel like this summer was maybe a tiny bit different for me in that it didn't feel like there was as much of a prolonged pause for all the royals. When I think about August, like Princess Anne went to Dublin in August. Many of the royals appeared for VJ Day. Queen Camilla also went to York Racecourse in August, and they're coming back now and this week and been quite visible. And this is anecdotal because I haven't added it all up, but in previous years, I felt like we've had longer, more consistent periods out of the spotlight from all the royals. So that was kind of interesting for me this summer to see. With Prince and Princess of Wales, obviously Kate had a very gradual return to work last year. I think there's still a real reluctance to commit her to too much, but I'm quite hopeful that we might see a bit more of her in the next few weeks than we have done.
Yeah, well, I don't think she'll be going to Brazil with William. No. And I don't think there's any foreign trips on the horizon for Catherine quite yet, but yeah, hopefully we'll see him. I imagine they'll be busy next week when Harry's over. I imagine there'll be lots of engagements for William and Catherine, but let's see. Right, we just got a bit of time for our quickfire questions to round up the show. So take a deep breath, please. As we were just saying, it's back to school for children across the country. So who, in your opinion, was the cleverest royal at school?
Well, I'm glad you gave me warning on this because I looked at all their exams, and the cleverest royal is Princess Eugenie, matched by Catherine, who both got a 2-1 at university in their various subjects. Harry, as we know, didn't do terribly well at school, but I'm not critical of Harry of doing that because I'm someone who didn't do too well at school myself, but he's certainly done well after, with his army training and
Sandhurst, yeah.
and Sandhurst and everything else. He didn't fail at that. Okay, he may have had to leave it because a leg up because he's a prince, but he didn't do too badly. William didn't do too badly either, and neither did Beatrice. Meghan didn't do, obviously, A-levels at school. And again, that's not a criticism over their education system's far different to ours, and she ended up at Northwestern University in media and arts, I think it was.
You know, all the things
about
research. Everyone's education.
Eugenie, the cleverest girl at school?
Well, technically she is.
I was going to say Kate, because she did chemistry A-level. And I didn't know that for a long time, because they never said what A-level she did initially. And we knew that she'd done history of art at St Andrews, we knew that she'd got a 2-1. But I'd always think I'd sort of presumed for a long time that she did more arts-based A-levels for that subject. But then I remember being in Oslo a few years ago with her, and she told a member of the crowd right in front of me that she'd done chemistry and biology at A-level. And since then, it's gone up on the Royal Household's website what her A-levels were. And I think chemistry is very hard, so especially at A-level. So I'm quite impressed with that.
I know that Lady Louise is very clever.
That's correct.
When she
they
was
never
at
said
school,
what her results were, did they? But
I think she might have got straight A's, but I don't think that's official. But she absolutely aced her A-levels, and she's doing very well at university. So all the women are the cleverest ones.
There you go.
There we go. Right, I don't know if you saw this, but Lib Dem leader Ed Davey refuses to attend Donald Trump's state visit, state dinner. So can you name 2 wildcard guests who could take his and his wife's place?
I mean, I think we should go. No?
They'd never have.
That'd be amazing.
They would never let us through the door, Victoria.
I wouldn't know which knife or fork or spoon to use.
I was going to say the Beckhams, but I presume they're already going. But I mean, they might be, because it's obviously a US-UK contingent, and they fit that bill. And obviously, every other royal event has to have David Beckham at it. So
I've been thinking about this, and I don't think Ed Davey is going to be a loss to that dinner in any case. However, I would like to see Nigel Farage there. He's in effect been banned by Starmer, so I think he should be there. He's also a friend of Trump's, so let's not forget. They're quite close chums. And also, controversially perhaps, I'd like to see Vladimir Zelensky there as well. I mean, that would show a great, moral support for the guy and Ukraine again.
Oh, wonderful, because Farage didn't go to the French state visit. We don't know what's going to happen potentially at the US, but Farage and Zelensky would be awesome. And us. Maybe they could fit us there as well. I can't believe no one said Harry and Meghan.
You just did.
I'll say Harry and Meghan. And finally, back to Meghan. So Meghan has shared her playlist for filming her Netflix show this week. What song reminds you of her series, or what song would you include in her series?
I think it's really hard. I mean, the show makes me think of, like, just on the face of it, I think of, like, Jack Johnson banana pancakes or something like that. Like, she's making pancakes. It's all very chill, very, like, acoustic guitar vibes. So that would make me think of it.
I've got 2 for you. I've got Who's Sorry Now by the late Connie Francis, or I Can Get No Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Good titles. And again, no one said Stop by the Spice Girls.